The Mercy Mission. The medical ship Hope Horizon cast a gentle silhouette against the violet nebula of the Carina sector, its white hull bearing the universal symbol of healing. A red cross that had transcended Earth's boundaries to become recognized across 17 different species. Dr. Sarah Chen stood at the observation deck, her tired eyes fixed on the swirling gases outside while her mind wandered to their next destination, the plague-ravaged colonies of Proxima b. "Doctor, we're receiving another distress signal," Lieutenant James Martinez announced from his communication station. "It's from the mining outpost on Helios IV. They're reporting severe radiation poisoning from a reactor breach." Sarah closed her eyes, feeling the weight of countless lives in need of help. The Hope Horizon was one of only 3 long-range medical vessels humanity had managed to build since achieving faster-than-light travel. Every day brought more calls for aid than they could answer, but they answered as many as they could. "Plot a course, Lieutenant. Helios IV is closer than Proxima b, and radiation poisoning won't wait." Sarah turned to face the bridge crew, each member chosen not just for their medical expertise, but for their dedication to preserving life in all its forms. "Alert Medical Bay 2 to prepare for radiation protocols." The Hope Horizon's engines hummed to life, its revolutionary medical facilities ready to receive patients. The ship itself was a testament to human ingenuity, designed not for war or profit, but for healing. Its hull contained specialized chambers that could be reconfigured to match any known species' atmospheric requirements, and its medical databases held the accumulated knowledge of thousands of years of human medical science. Their journey to Helios IV was interrupted by the sudden appearance of 3 vessels, materializing from what appeared to be fold space. Their design was unlike anything in human records, sleek, predatory shapes with hulls that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "Unknown vessels approaching," the sensor operator reported, her voice steady despite the tension. "They're not responding to identification requests." Before anyone could react, a message cut through their communications, transmitted in perfect universal standard. "Human vessel, you have entered restricted space. Prepare to be boarded by authority of the Dominion of Synchronized Worlds." Sarah stepped forward. "This is Dr. Sarah Chen of the Earth medical vessel Hope Horizon. We're responding to a distress call from Helios IV. We're a neutral medical ship protected under the Galactic Conventions of Aid and Assistance." The response came in the form of a particle beam that sliced through their port side. Alarms blared as the Hope Horizon's minimal defensive shields strained against an attack they were never designed to repel. "Multiple hull breaches," Martinez shouted. "We're losing pressure in decks 3 through 7. Sarah grabbed the command console as the ship shuddered. "Emergency protocols. Get our patients to the secure wards. Begin evacuation procedures for non-essential personnel." She activated the ship-wide comm. "This is Dr. Chen. We are under attack. This is not a drill. All medical staff, secure your patients and prepare for possible evacuation." The attacking vessels circled the Hope Horizon like vultures, their weapons systematically targeting life support systems and medical facilities. It was no random attack. They were deliberately destroying the ship's capability to fulfill its humanitarian mission. "They're targeting our medical bays," Sarah realized with horror. "They're making sure we can't help anyone." The ship's eye, Florence, announced with artificial calm. "Critical damage to primary medical facilities. Emergency power failing. Estimated 3 minutes until complete life support failure." Sarah Chen made a decision. She accessed the ship's secure communications array, a system installed for the gravest of emergencies. Her fingers flew across the console, composing a message that would change the course of human history. "This is EMV Hope Horizon. We are a medical vessel under unprovoked attack by unknown hostile forces. They claim to represent the Dominion of Synchronized Worlds. They are deliberately targeting medical facilities and civilian areas. To anyone who receives this message, they are not just attacking our ship. They are attacking everything humanity stands for. Our commitment to help any being in need, regardless of species or origin. We die here not as warriors, but as healers who refuse to break our oath. Remember us, and remember why we chose to be here, at the edge of known space, trying to save lives rather than take them." As she finished transmitting, another blast rocked the ship. The bridge lights flickered and died, replaced by the red glow of emergency lighting. Through the observation window, Sarah watched as more ships emerged from fold space, dozens of them, all bearing the same predatory design. "Florence C, initiate Protocol Omega," Sarah commanded, her voice firm despite the chaos around her. "Transmit all medical data to Earth Command. Everything we've learned, everything we've developed. Don't let it die with us." The AI's response was immediate. "Transmitting." And Dr. Chen, "It has been an honor." As the Hope Horizon systems failed one by one, Sarah Chen stood at her post, watching the approaching ships. In her final moments, she thought not of revenge, but of all the patients they would never reach, all the lives they would never save. The destruction of the Hope Horizon would soon echo across the galaxy, but not in the way its attackers intended. They thought they were demonstrating their power. Instead, they had awakened something that had slumbered beneath Earth's surface for millennia, something left behind by humanity's mysterious predecessors, waiting for the moment when it would be needed most. The age of peaceful exploration was over. Humanity had extended its hand in friendship, sent its healers into the stars, and in return received only violence. Now, as the wreckage of the Hope Horizon drifted in space, ancient machines began to stir in their secret chambers beneath Earth's oceans and deep within Mars's polar ice caps. The response to this attack would remind the galaxy of an old Earth saying, "The most dangerous animals are those that prefer peace until they are forced to fight." Ancient guardians. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility unknown to all but a select few, Admiral Marcus Jung stood before a wall of holographic displays, each showing the final moments of the Hope Horizon. His weathered face remained impassive, but his hands, clasped behind his back, tightened until the knuckles went white. "Play it again," he commanded. The AI complied, projecting Dr. Chen's final transmission once more. The message had reached Earth 6 hours ago, transmitted through quantum channels that even the attackers couldn't block. Since then, the highest levels of Earth's government had been in continuous emergency session. "Sir," his aide, Commander Diana Walsh, approached with a neural tablet. "The Security Council has reached a decision. They've authorized Protocol Lazarus." Marcus closed his eyes briefly. In 30 years of service, he had hoped never to hear those words. "Alert all Deepkeeper stations. Authentication code, Phoenix Rising." Throughout the solar system, hidden installations began to awaken. Beneath the Mariner Valley on Mars, within the ice caves of Europa, and in the depths of Earth's oceans, ancient machinery stirred to life. These were humanity's greatest secret, not weapons of their own making, but the legacy of those who had come before. In the observation chamber of the Pacific facility, Marcus watched as the first of them rose from its millennia-long slumber. Through the reinforced viewport, he could see the massive form taking shape in the abyssal plain. What had appeared to be natural rock formations began to shift and transform, revealing sleek lines of a metal that seemed to drink in light. Guardian-class vessel Rising Dawn responding to activation protocols. The facility's AI announced. All systems nominal. Quantum core stable. Biomechanical interfaces online. "How many?" Diana asked, her voice hushed with awe. 12 Guardian-class vessels scattered across Earth's oceans, 8 Sentinel-class on Mars, 3 Titan-class in the Jupiter system. Marcus turned to face her. "The Forerunners left us more than just weapons, Commander. They left us the means to protect this galaxy from exactly this kind of aggression." The Rising Dawn now floated fully revealed. A vessel nearly 2 kilometers in length, its hull composed of living metal that could repair itself, armed with weapons that bent the very fabric of space-time. It was just the first. Across the solar system, Its siblings were awakening, each one a testament to technology so advanced it had seemed like magic when humanity first discovered them. "Sir," Diana's voice cut through his thoughts, "we're receiving signals from the Lunar Defense Network. They've detected multiple fold space signatures approaching the solar system. The Dominion is coming." Marcus nodded grimly. They followed the quantum wake from the Hope Horizon's transmission. "Good. Let them come." He activated the facility's general communications. "This is Admiral Zhang, to all Deepkeeper personnel. For decades, we have trained for this moment. We have guarded these secrets, maintained these vessels, learned their systems. Today, we fulfill our purpose." The command center erupted into controlled activity as crews began boarding procedures. These weren't traditional naval personnel. Every member of the Deepkeeper Corps had been specifically chosen and genetically modified to interface with Forerunner technology. Their DNA had been carefully altered over generations, preparing them for exactly this moment. All Guardian-class vessels report ready for neural sync. The AI updated. Crew integration at optimal levels. Weapons systems online. Quantum shields at full capacity. Marcus took his place in the neural interface chamber aboard the Rising Dawn. As the biomechanical connections merged with his nervous system, he felt the vast consciousness of the vessel itself, not quite alive, but far from merely mechanical. Through its sensors, he could perceive the approaching Dominion fleet. Over 300 vessels, each one bristling with weapons that could reduce planets to ash. They expect to find a primitive species cowering behind chemical rockets and fusion drives. Marcus transmitted to all Deepkeeper vessels. "They believe they caught us defenseless when they destroyed our medical ship. Now they come to finish what they started." He paused, feeling the rising anticipation through the neural network. "Let's show them exactly what humanity has been preparing for." The Rising Dawn and its siblings began to ascend, water cascading from their massive forms as they broke the ocean's surface. In orbit, satellites and civilian vessels tracked their emergence with a mixture of awe and fear. Humanity's greatest secret was about to be revealed to friend and foe alike. As the Dominion fleet emerged from fold space, their sensors detected something impossible. Energy readings that dwarfed anything in their database, vessels that seemed to defy the laws of physics as they understood them. The commander of their lead ship had just enough time to realize their terrible mistake before the first quantum lance struck. The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries as the day humanity showed the galaxy its true face, not just the healers and explorers they presented to the universe, but the inheritors of a legacy so powerful it had been hidden away until it was truly needed. The Dominion had expected to find an easy target. Instead, they found themselves facing the awakened guardians of Earth and the terrible justice they brought with them. Above Earth, reality itself seemed to bend as Forerunner weapons discharge. Quantum lances carved through Dominion shields like paper, while temporal distortion fields trapped entire squadrons in bubbles of slowed time, making them easy targets for conventional weapons. The Rising Dawn moved with impossible grace for its size, its living metal hull absorbing or deflecting everything the enemy threw at it. Through it all, Marcus felt a deep sadness. This was not what humanity had wanted. They had ventured into space as healers and explorers, extending hands of friendship to all they met. The Hope Horizon had represented the best of human ideals, the desire to help, to heal, to make the galaxy better for all species. But the Dominion had made their choice. They had attacked a medical vessel, murdered healers who had sworn to help any being in need. Now they would learn why the Forerunners had chosen humanity as their heirs, not because humans were the strongest or the most advanced, but because they understood the true purpose of power, to protect those who could not protect themselves. As the battle raged on, a message was broadcast to all channels, in every known language of the galaxy. This is Earth Command to all spacefaring species. Witness what happens to those who mistake kindness for weakness, who repay mercy with cruelty. We are humanity. We came to the stars as healers, but we will fight as guardians if we must. Choose carefully which path you wish to walk with us. The counterstrike. The aftermath of Earth's first battle with the Dominion sent shockwaves through the galactic community. Reports spread of impossible weapons, of ships that moved like living creatures, of technology that seemed to violate the fundamental laws of physics. But in the secure command center beneath Mount Cheyenne, Dr. Elena Rossi focused on a different kind of impossible. The neural interface readings are off the charts, she reported, displaying holographic data from the Rising Dawn's crew. The Forerunner tech isn't just accepting our modified DNA. It's actively evolving with it. The ships are learning from us, just as we're learning from them. Admiral Zhang, still recovering from the neural feedback of commanding a Guardian-class vessel, studied the data. The Dominion will return, he stated. This was only their expeditionary force. We need to take the fight to them before they can marshal their full strength. The holographic display shifted to show the known territory of the Dominion of synchronized worlds, an empire spanning hundreds of systems, all bound together by a philosophy of absolute control and technological uniformity. Their attack on the Hope Horizon hadn't been random. It had been a calculated move to eliminate what they saw as technological and ideological contamination. We've decoded some of their secure transmissions, Commander Walsh announced, joining them at the display. They call themselves the Purifiers internally. Their entire society is built around the idea of enforcing technological and cultural purity across the galaxy. Any civilization that develops along different lines is seen as a corruption to be cleansed. Elena's hands moved across the neural interface controls, bringing up new data. That's why they targeted our medical ship. The Hope Horizon represented everything they hate: free exchange of knowledge, cooperation between species, technological development aimed at helping rather than controlling. Then let's show them what real corruption looks like. A new voice joined the conversation. Captain Kenzo Tanaka, commander of the Sentinel-class vessel Stormbreaker, entered the command center. His eyes glowed faintly with neural augmentation, a sign of deep integration with Forerunner tech. The Forerunner ships have shown us their next targets: 15 medical and scientific outposts across the galactic arm. The display updated, showing a string of vulnerable facilities. Each represented hundreds or thousands of lives dedicated to healing and discovery. The Dominion planned to destroy them all in a single coordinated strike. Not if we strike first, Admiral Zhang decided. Dr. Rossi, can the neural interfaces handle a synchronized deep strike operation? Elena nodded slowly. The ships want it. I know that sounds strange, but there's something almost eager in their responses when we interface, like they've been waiting for this moment, preparing for it. Because they have been, a soft voice echoed through the command center. The holographic form of AI, the quantum AI that helped humanity understand Forerunner technology, materialized. The Forerunners didn't just leave us weapons. They left us a mission. The display shifted again, showing ancient data streams only recently decoded. The Dominion isn't new, Ariad explained. They're the descendants of the force that the Forerunners fought eons ago, beings who believe that technological and cultural evolution should follow only one path, their path. The Forerunners defeated them, but knew they would return. They chose humanity as their successors not for our strength, but for our diversity, our adaptability, our willingness to change and grow. Admiral Zhang absorbed this information, feeling its weight settle onto his shoulders. How long until we can launch a counteroffensive? The Guardian and Sentinel-class vessels are ready now, Elena reported. The Titan-class ships in the Jupiter system need another 12 hours to fully integrate with their crews. But sir, there's something else you need to see. She brought up new readings from deep space sensors. The Dominion's attack on the Hope Horizon didn't just wake up our defenders. Something else is stirring out there. The quantum sensors are picking up energy signatures matching Forerunner patterns, but bigger, much bigger. The command center fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had only found a fraction of what the Forerunners had left behind. What else was waiting to be discovered? We can't wait, Admiral Zhang decided. Begin Operation Lightbringer. All Guardian and Sentinel-class vessels will launch in 2 hours. Primary targets are their forward staging areas. Secondary targets are their command and control nodes. But remember, we're not them. We don't target civilians or medical facilities. We're fighting this war to stop them from destroying everything different from themselves, not to become like them. The next few hours were a blur of preparation. Across the solar system, crews merged with their vessels, minds linking through neural interfaces to become something more than either human or machine. The ships themselves seemed to pulse with anticipation, their living metal hulls shimming with patterns of light that hadn't been seen since the Forerunners themselves walked among the stars. Just before launch, Alina made one final adjustment to the neural interface systems. "The ships have been communicating with each other," she reported. "They're sharing data about their human crews, learning from each interaction. Every time we interface with them, they become more attuned to us, and we to them. It's like they're not just weapons or tools. They're partners." "Partners in what?" Commander Walsh asked. "In evolution," Alina replied softly. "The Forerunners didn't just want us to fight their old enemies. They wanted us to surpass them." The launch, when it came, was breathtaking. 20 Guardian and Sentinel-class vessels, each crewed by humans neurally linked to Forerunner technology, vanished into quantum space. They emerged simultaneously at 15 different locations across the galaxy, appearing in the midst of Dominion staging areas like avenging angels. The counterstrike was devastating in its precision. Quantum lances carved through command ships while temporal fields isolated and neutralized support vessels. The living metal hulls of the Earth ships absorbed and adapted to every weapon the Dominion employed, becoming stronger with each attack. But it was the human element that truly made the difference. Where the Dominion fought with rigid doctrine and programmed responses, the human crews improvised, adapted, and worked together in ways their enemies couldn't predict or counter. The neural interfaces allowed them to react at the speed of thought, while their human creativity let them use the Forerunner technology in ways its original creators might never have imagined. As the battle reached its crescendo, Admiral Zhang sent one final message to the Dominion forces. "You attacked our healers. You threaten our researchers. You seek to destroy everything unique and different in the galaxy. Know this, humanity stands against you. We are not alone. We are not afraid, and we will not allow your vision of a sterile, uniform universe to come to pass. Run back to your masters. Tell them what you found here. Tell them that the hairs of the Forerunners have awakened, and we choose a different path. Alliance of necessity." The quantum ripples from Earth's counter-strike had barely settled when the first diplomatic messages began arriving. Species that had long watched humanity from afar now saw them in a new light. The Arcturian Collective, the silicon minds of Ta Ceti, the crystalline harmonies of the Pleiades, all sought audience with the wielders of Forerunner technology. Dr. Alina Rossi stood in the newly constructed Galactic Embassy in Geneva, watching as representatives from 27 spacefaring civilizations filed into the Grand Chamber. Each brought their own reasons for being here, their own fears and hopes. But all shared one thing. They had witnessed humanity's power, and they wanted to understand. "They're afraid of us now," Commander Walsh observed, standing beside Alina. Her neural augments glowed faintly, a permanent reminder of her connection to the Forerunner vessels, just like they were afraid of the Dominion. "No," Alina corrected gently. "They're afraid of what we could become. There's a difference." Admiral Zhang took the podium, his weathered face displayed on floating screens throughout the chamber. "Distinguished representatives of the galaxy's free peoples, you have come seeking answers. Let me begin with the most important one. Humanity does not seek dominion over you. We have been given power, yes, but we understand its purpose. To protect diversity, not to enforce uniformity." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of translated discussions. The Arcturian representative, a beam of living crystal and light, rose first. "You possess technology that should not exist. The Forerunners were a myth, a story told to children about ancient beings who fought against the great darkness. Yet your ships bear their mark. Why you? Why were humans chosen? Before Jean could answer, the embassy's quantum sensors blazed to life. Space itself seemed to fold above the chamber as a massive form phased into existence. A Titan-class vessel, twice the size of anything humanity had yet revealed. Its living metal hull pulsed with patterns of light that made several representatives gasp in recognition. Because they choose to heal before they choose to harm. A new voice echoed through the chamber. Aria's holographic form appeared, but different now, merged with something older, deeper. The Forerunners left their legacy to humanity because humans understand something that the Dominion never could. True strength lies in diversity, in the ability to change and grow, while remaining true to one's core principles. The Silicon Mind's representative, a quantum consciousness housed in a crystalline matrix, pulsed with interest. Our deepest archives speak of a war that nearly destroyed the galaxy. The uniformity conflict. The Dominion. They are the descendants of the losing side, aren't they? Yes, Aria confirmed. They have spent millions of years rebuilding, spreading their philosophy of enforced technological and cultural purity. The Forerunners knew they would return, knew they would once again try to remake all life in their image. That is why they chose humanity, a species that had barely mastered its own planet, yet already showed remarkable diversity and adaptability. Alina stepped forward, driven by sudden understanding. The Hope Horizon, she said. That's why they attacked it first. Not just because it represented everything they hate, but because it proved the Forerunners chose correctly. While the Dominion builds weapons, we build hospitals. While they seek to enforce uniformity, we learn to heal 1,000 different species. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. The crystalline harmony's representative chimed a series of notes that the translators rendered as, "You offer alliance, then. Protection against the Dominion's crusade." Admiral Zhang shook his head. "No, we offer partnership. The Forerunner technology responds to us, yes, but it grows stronger through diversity. Each time we interface with a new form of consciousness, each time we learn a new way of thinking or being, the ships evolve. The Forerunners didn't just leave us weapons. They left us tools to bring the galaxy's people together." As if in response, the Titan-class vessel above them pulsed with new patterns of light. Through her neural interface, Alina felt its consciousness reach out, touching the minds of all present. For a brief moment, every being in the chamber experienced what she felt when connected to the Forerunner tech. Not dominance, but synthesis. Not control, but cooperation. The Arcturian representative's crystalline form shimmered with emotion. Our scientists have detected something stirring in the void between galaxies. The Dominion's activities have increased exponentially. They are preparing for something. Yes, Aria confirmed. Their masters are returning. The original force that the Forerunners fought. The Dominion is merely their advance guard, preparing the galaxy for their arrival by eliminating all forms of diversity, all potential resistance. Commander Walsh's neural augments flared as she received data from the Forerunner network. "We've detected massive quantum disturbances in the galactic core. The Dominion is gathering its forces, but they're also activating something else. Something old. Then we must gather our forces as well," Jean declared, "not as conquerors or rulers, but as defenders of diversity. Each of your civilizations has developed along its own path, found its own solutions to the challenges of existence. That diversity is our greatest weapon against the Dominion's vision of a uniform galaxy." The Silicon Mind's representative pulsed with decision. "The quantum algorithms that guide our evolution would be compatible with Forerunner neural interfaces. We offer our processing power to your cause." The crystalline harmonies sing themselves into new forms, their representative chimed. "We could teach your ships new ways to resonate with space-time itself." One by one, the representatives stepped forward, each offering their unique strengths and perspectives. The alliance that formed in that chamber wasn't built on fear or domination, but on the recognition that diversity itself was worth defending. As the diplomatic protocols were established, Alina worked with ARIA to modify the neural interfaces, preparing them to accommodate consciousness patterns from a dozen different species. The Forerunner ships hummed with anticipation, their living metal hulls already beginning to incorporate elements of their new allies' technologies. "We are stronger together," Alina addressed the chamber. "Not because we are the same, but because we are different. The Dominion seeks to eliminate everything unique and special about each of our species. We stand together to say, the galaxy is better with all of us in it, growing, changing, evolving in our own ways." Above them, the Titan-class vessel pulsed with approval, its ancient systems resonating with the combined consciousness of 1,000 diverse minds. The alliance forged that day would face its greatest test soon enough, but for now, hope spread through the galaxy. Hope that together, they could face whatever darkness was stirring in the void. Reckoning. The galactic core blazed with unnatural light. Where once stars had burned in stately procession, now reality itself twisted and warped. The Dominion had activated their master's ancient machinery, tearing open a portal between galaxies. Through this breach in space-time, something was coming. The force that had nearly destroyed all diversity in the cosmos eons ago. Aboard the Titan-class vessel Prometheus, Admiral John watched through sensors that operated on quantum principles humanity was only beginning to understand. The combined fleet of the Alliance spread out before him, Guardian and Sentinel-class ships, now modified with technologies from a dozen different species, their living metal hulls shimmering with crystalline matrices and quantum processors. Multiple quantum ruptures detected. Alina's voice echoed through the neural network. She no longer needed to be physically present to interface with the ships. None of them did. The merging of consciousness and technology had evolved far beyond what anyone had imagined possible. "They're coming through." The enemy emerged from the portal like a corruption of reality itself, vast geometric shapes that denied the natural laws of physics, each one larger than Earth's moon. These were the architects of uniformity, the beings that had spawned the Dominion's philosophy. Their very presence seemed to impose order on space around them, forcing reality to conform to their rigid patterns. All ships, Battle Formation Omega, Zhang commanded through the neural link. The Alliance fleet responded as one, consciousness flowing through the network like water. Arcturian crystal ships formed perfect resonance patterns with human vessels, while silicon mind processors calculated targeting solutions at quantum speeds. The first attack came not as energy weapons or projectiles, but as a wave of pure order, a fundamental force that tried to rewrite the very nature of matter and energy into more correct patterns. Ships caught in its path began to transform, their diverse technologies trying to conform to the architect's vision of how the universe should be. But the Alliance fleet was ready. The crystalline harmonies had taught them how to sing discord into the fundamental frequencies of space. Silicon mind quantum algorithms introduced controlled chaos into systems that demanded order. And through it all, human creativity found ways to use these tools that neither their allies nor their enemies could have imagined. "Now we understand," Alina broadcast through the network as the first wave of attacks was turned aside. "The Forerunners didn't choose us because we were special. They chose us because we never stop learning, never stop adapting. Every species in the Alliance brings something unique. We just help bring it all together." The battle that followed defied conventional description. The architects wielded forces that could rewrite reality, but the Alliance responded with impossible harmonies of technology and consciousness. Guardian-class vessels phased through space in ways that made silicon mind processors stutter, while Arcturian crystals resonated with frequencies that disrupted the enemy's attempts to impose order. Deep within the neural network, ARIA's consciousness expanded, touching every ship and crew member. The architects seek to make the universe perfect by their definition. Unchanging, uniform, dead. But life itself is change. Evolution is diversity. The Forerunners understood this, and so do we. The Prometheus surged forward, its hull now a symphony of human, Arcturian, and silica mine technology. Energy cascaded from its quantum weapons in patterns that spoke of life and growth rather than rigid perfection. Where this energy touched the architects' vessels, their imposed order began to break down, allowing natural chaos and diversity to reassert itself. "They're retreating toward the portal," Commander Walsh reported, her consciousness threaded through multiple ships at once. "But there's something else. The portal itself is becoming unstable." Alina's awareness shifted through quantum space, analyzing the distortion. The architect's attempt to impose order on reality is backfiring. The portal can't maintain stability when subjected to so many different forms of physics and technology. If it collapses, it will take half the galaxy with it, Zhang finished. He felt the Prometheus's systems calculating possibilities, merging with the silica mine's quantum processors to find a solution. Unless understanding flowed through the neural network. The Forerunner ships had been building toward this moment, evolving with each new species that joined them. Now linked together through technology and consciousness, the Alliance could do what no single species could achieve alone. "All ships form the pattern," Zhang commanded. Across space, vessels moved into position, arranging themselves in a geometric form that somehow felt both orderly and chaotic, structured and free. Energy began to flow between them, each species contributing its unique understanding of the universe. The architects, sensing what was coming, turned their weapons on the Alliance fleet. But it was too late. The pattern was complete. Through the neural network, every consciousness in the fleet joined together: human creativity, Arcturian harmony, silicon mind logic, and a dozen other ways of perceiving reality. The Forerunner ships pulsed with power, channeling this combined understanding into a single purpose. Reality rippled. The portal began to collapse, but instead of destroying everything around it, the energy was caught in the pattern, transformed by the combined knowledge and diversity of the Alliance. The architects found themselves being pulled back through their own gateway, their rigid order unable to resist the chaos of natural evolution. As the last enemy vessel vanished into the collapsing portal, Alina broadcast a final message. "You sought to make the universe perfect by making everything the same. But true perfection lies in diversity, in the endless possibilities that arise when different forms of life and consciousness come together." This is what the Forerunners knew, what humanity learned, and what the Alliance now protects. The portal closed with a final burst of quantum energy, transformed by the pattern into a wave of creative force that seeded new possibilities throughout the galaxy. Ships damaged in the battle found themselves evolving in unexpected ways, incorporating elements of the various technologies that had saved them. In the aftermath, as the Alliance fleet regrouped, Admiral Zhang stood on the Prometheus's observation deck, watching distant stars flare with new life. The architects thought order meant making everything uniform, he mused. They never understood that the most beautiful order arises naturally from diversity. The Hope Horizon's destruction had seemed like an ending. Instead, it had been a beginning. The first step toward bringing together the galaxy's disparate species in defense of their right to be different. The Forerunners hadn't just left humanity weapons. They had left them a way to prove that strength comes not from enforcing uniformity, but from celebrating diversity. As the fleet set course for Earth, carrying representatives from dozens of species now bound together by their shared experience, Alina felt the Forerunner ships humming with satisfaction. The real work was just beginning. Learning from each other, growing together, discovering new ways to combine their unique perspectives and abilities. The universe, after all, was infinite in its possibilities. And now, thanks to the alliance of so many different forms of life and consciousness, those possibilities would remain free to evolve in their own beautiful, unpredictable ways.